My beloved child, the hour of concealment is ending. In this very video, I will unveil the destiny I forged in silence within you. Every hidden tear you shed has summoned heaven into action, and what is about to unfold will ignite a fire you cannot ignore. Stay until the last word, for the final revelation will break the chains that kept you small and launch you into your true purpose. Do not hesitate or look away. If you miss this moment, you miss your breakthrough. You have been loyal in your service, watched others receive accolades while you were overlooked, and quietly wondered in your private thoughts, do they even perceive who I really am beneath the surface? I did. I have always seen you, even before you felt ignored, before they questioned your motives, and before they presumed they understood everything about you. My eyes were upon you. I witnessed how you kept appearing, day after day, even in exhaustion. I noticed how you softened your words so that they would not be misconstrued. I observed how you carried your convictions gently, even when others mocked them or brushed them aside. I recognized how you balanced the weight of becoming the person I designed you to be while longing for someone, anyone, to validate your identity and purpose. There is a crucial realization here. Other people's capacity to value or notice you has never dictated your true worth. Their lack of recognition concerning your calling did not hinder the assignment I have for you. Their silence was not an ultimate judgment. Their dismissal was not the final decree. Their distance never echoed my voice. I have never needed their affirmation to operate powerfully in your life, and I have never required their sanction to record your name in heaven. From the start, you were already chosen, already anointed, and already being prepared for the road ahead. I have watched you struggle against the temptation to prove yourself to those who doubted you. I have seen you bite your tongue when you had every reason to clarify your intention. I have watched you choose peaceful humility over performance or retaliation. I saw you remain devoted to what I asked you to do, even when promotions or recognition did not come. I also saw those nights when your sense of self cracked under the strain of acting as though it did not hurt, when in fact the pain was real. Even in those valleys, perhaps especially there, I never wavered in my profound awareness of who you truly are. You have navigated stretches of life where no one genuinely seemed to know your heart. Your perspectives were minimized, your discernment was waved away, and your deeper purpose was misunderstood. You began to question whether you were mistaken, if the vision you had was merely a product of fleeting emotion, if your voice mattered as much as you originally believed. You reshaped yourself, you adapted, and you made yourself smaller in order to continue in environments that felt confining. Yet I never instructed you to shrink. I never demanded that you become less. I asked you to keep trusting me when others could not perceive what I had placed within you. Let me emphasize this now. That period of hiddenness was never intended as a punishment. It was a form of protection and preservation. You were not neglected. You were shielded. There were individuals who would have exploited your gifting long before it was truly mature. There were stages or platforms that might have drained your spirit before your roots were solid enough to uphold you. There were opportunities that would have elevated your voice, yet battered your soul. Thus, I chose to keep you concealed for a time, obscured, rather than exposed. And while they were not witnessing you, I was shaping you carefully. I am about to reveal you to them now, not as a form of vengeance, nor to humiliate anyone, but to accomplish the words I have pronounced over you from the very beginning. That moment is approaching swiftly, the moment when everything I have cultivated in your life will no longer remain hidden. The wisdom I nurtured, the clarity I refined, and the passion I kindled are rising to the surface, destined to be unmistakable. It will not be brash or arrogant, but it will be undeniably clear. Your voice will bear authority because I have purified it through trials, through refining fire. Your mere presence will change the atmosphere, not because of your personality or personal charm, but because my power is anchored in your obedience to me. No introductions will be necessary, because the fruit you have diligently borne will speak on your behalf. The peace that emanates from you will testify to your inner wholeness. The consistent faith you have displayed through challenging times will become evident. All that I have accomplished in you will shine in such a way that no person can easily ignore it. I am not merely elevating you, I am unveiling you. You will no longer be the version of yourself sculpted by other people's opinions. You will be seen as the creation formed in my image. Do not expect it to look the way they might have predicted. It will not follow the schedules they demand or seek their authorization. It will move forward with me as your source, your defender, and your banner. What I initiate now will not require you to defend or justify it. It will be evident that I am the one doing this work. Consequently, do not retreat when they finally take notice of you. Do not apologize or diminish yourself when they acknowledge your presence. Do not feel conflicted about stepping into visibility after so many silent years. This unfolding is my hand at work, not the outcome of your personal striving. And those who previously overlooked you will gradually become aware of what they missed, not because you are forcing it, but because I am bringing my work to completion. I am completing the circle. Some who misunderstood you might gain new insight. Some who critiqued your stance might recognize your patience. Some who dismissed your words might recall their significance. Yet not all will return. Some were not meant to stay. That which is intended for restoration will find its way back. That which was meant to be released has already been relinquished. Now, I need you to trust me and walk with me in each step, not racing ahead, not dragging behind, but moving in seamless alignment with every breath, aware that heaven's eyes have never left you. Remember, this is not your comeback. It is an unveiling, the revealing of what I have always known you to be. Soon enough, others will recognize it too. You are not merely ascending, you are being acknowledged for who I have always seen you to be. Let me address not just the circumstances around you, but also what has been stirring inside you. I fully comprehend how you have wrestled to keep everything intact, how you have smiled through a hidden longing, how you have continued to show up even when your own confidence was fraying behind the scenes. You have never needed to prove your faithfulness to me, for I have been watching, detail by detail. But I also recognize that even though your behavior has stayed obedient to my will, there is a quiet region in your heart that asks, does anyone truly notice me? Do they see the cost of pressing on? Listen closely to me now, in a way that resonates through your entire being. I see you. I know you. I have always known you intimately, and my perspective of who you are has never changed. You have been surrounded by individuals who failed to realize the profound depth of what you carry. People who misread your reserved nature, who underestimated the significance of your process, who concluded that because you did not move quickly, you must not be ready or important. You have been in rooms where your contribution was needed, but you were asked to stay silent. You have watched others skyrocket to success, while you stayed devoted in less visible arenas. Nevertheless, you chose to remain. You opted not to manipulate outcomes. You did not force your way through. You did not chase. Instead, you patiently waited. You guarded your heart from bitterness. That posture, this unwavering stance you have taken, has made you a force the enemy dreads and a cherished treasure to me. You did not allow the blindness of others to define you. You had questions, but you never truly gave up. Your perseverance carries far more significance than you know. In heaven's economy, it is not merely what is on display that matters, but what is surrendered. And you have surrendered more than most people will ever comprehend. Your plans, your dreams, your time frame, your reputation. You laid it all down, not in pursuit of a platform, but to remain in my presence. And I have taken note of every single sacrifice. Let me share with you what I see when I behold you. I do not see a failure. I do not see someone who has misstepped irreparably. I do not see an individual defined by the shadows of comparison, fear, or regret. Instead, I see someone whose strength has been shaped and tempered in the hidden place. I see a heart that has remained dedicated to me, even after experiencing disappointment. I see a purity shining within you, despite living in a society mesmerized by the spotlight. I see someone who has never required a stage to faithfully fulfill the task entrusted to them. Here is my personal assessment of your being. You are stable, you are trustworthy, and you carry an exceptional sensitivity to my spirit that is uncommon. You have learned to hear my voice when countless others can only hear their own inner dialogue. You possess a profound wisdom that no human institution can bestow, because it was learned during the darkest valleys. You extend grace, not because you have walked an easy road, but because you allowed me to soften your heart when life might have hardened it. That is precisely why I preserved you, concealed you, and waited to reveal you. Because what I placed in you is far too sacred to be rushed, and far too substantial to be supported by shallow foundations. Now, I am inviting you to draw closer, not simply to religious observance or routine, but to deep intimacy with me. Come back to the altar, not to submit more requests for direction, but to let me rekindle your memory of who you were always meant to be. Return, not with interrogations, but with a heart open to my affirmation. Let me reaffirm the truths that the world overlooked. Let me instill identity where insecurity once tried to take root. Allow me to quell the internal debates in your mind, debates triggered by feeling unseen, bypassed, or dismissed. You don't need to toil at convincing yourself anymore. I will be the one to confirm you. I will be the one to lift the veil. I will be the one to open doors of promotion. I simply want you to remain close to me. I desire for you to walk as someone who recognizes they are fully known by heaven, which leads to confidence tempered with humility rather than arrogance. You do not need to strive for recognition. You do not have to prove your worth in every dialogue. You do not need to interject yourself to feel validated. I am providing you with a deeper anchoring, reminding you that I have always known who you are. Soon, many others will realize it too. But even if they do not, and even if they never confirm it verbally, you remain appointed, called, set apart, and dispatched for my purpose. Their acceptance or acknowledgement will never be the yardstick of your value. My love is that measure. My words and my presence serve as the true gauge. Rest assured, in this presence of mine, I am restoring everything you surrendered while you waited for others to see. Therefore approach me, not seeking to be seen, but to gain clarity, not seeking a stage, but seeking my presence. Allow me to refill you, to speak my confirmation once again, to breathe new strength into your spirit until you break the cycle of looking for anyone else's approval and begin walking in the certainty of mine. I have always perceived who you really are. I have never once doubted you, and now I am prepared to reveal to them the incredible treasure I have always witnessed. You are no longer just ascending, you are stepping into an ordination by my authority. Now let us examine the pain, the kind not everyone has seen or fully understood. This refers not only to the pain that others recognized, but the pain that you pushed aside and continued functioning through. The pain that molded how you perceived yourself more profoundly than you realized. Although you have made progress, have stayed faithful, and have journeyed onward, fragments of your heart still bear the imprint of what was not seen or acknowledged by others. And I want to go there with you, not to reopen wounds simply to stir your hurts, but to bring restoration to areas you gave up hoping I would touch. Your path has included more rejections than you may have openly admitted. Often these were not overt acts of cruelty, but subtly wounding instances. The type of rejection that emerges in the shape of indifference, where people do not oppose you outright, but fail to recognize your presence altogether. They did not resist you, they just neglected to make space for you. And that absence, the missing recognition, the missing affirmation, the missing acknowledgement, began to compose a disheartening inner story. Perhaps I do not belong. Perhaps what I bring is unnecessary. Perhaps I should remain quiet. But none of these lines came from me. You did nothing to warrant being overlooked. You did not fabricate or inflate your calling. You did not overstate your gifts. I intentionally fashioned them in you with both wisdom and love. The greatest wound was not their blindness to your gift, but rather their failure to see you, the essence behind your words, the process beneath your obedience, the burden that weighed on you even as you chose kindness. I know exactly how that dismissal impacted your confidence. And I know that, even to this day, a part of you recoils when you sense new hope rising. You have often said things like, "I'm fine," yet in truth, you have been functioning with still unhealed wounds, carrying the tensions of your calling, while simultaneously grappling with the ache of being misunderstood. And while you've persevered, the unaddressed pain has shaped your internal reality more than you suspect. It has led you to wonder how expansively you can dare to dream, to doubt your instincts, to restrain your passion. I want to remove these chains. Hear my emphatic words. You are not difficult to love. You are not impossible to figure out. You are absolutely not invisible to me. Their mishandling of your presence does not define the substance of who you are. The pain of being overlooked does not mean you are somehow less or lacking. It signifies that you are human, a human I created. But I do not want you carrying that wound as if it is your identity. I want to transform it into genuine wisdom. I want to restore the place where that injury threatened to become entwined with your personality. You have guarded yourself so meticulously that you began calling it discernment, when in truth it has frequently been fear disguised as caution. Let me dismantle it gently yet fully. I need the whole of you for what lies ahead, with an unburdened heart and a clear vision, no longer clouded by the recollection of those who missed your worth. I want you to enter new spaces without anticipating rejection. I want you to cease replaying the memory of old dismissals every time you contemplate a new step. That chapter is closed. It shall not compose the next line of your story. That is my job now. Hear me clearly. I never permitted pain to destroy you. I allowed it to refine you. It was a process of stripping away arrogance, uprooting codependence, elevating your motives, and anchoring your identity in what cannot be stolen by human hands. Each moment that someone overlooked you, I looked more intently. Each time a person walked away, I drew nearer to you. Now I yearn to heal not just the outward hurts, but also the self-perceptions that sprouted from them. The pain bruised you and attempted to rename you, labeling you as deficient, excessive, unneeded, or forgettable. I never uttered any of those words over you. I want to wipe away every one of those labels until none remain. You are not defined by what others neglected to see. You are defined by what I have always seen. You belong to me. You are complete. You are deliberately chosen. You are deeply desired. You carry my call and my intention. Nothing they overlooked alters my declarations over your life. You have borne these burdens for far too long, striving, explaining, adjusting your essence to fit in spaces that lack the capacity for who you really are. That era is finished. I am delivering you, not from specific people, but from the anguish they caused. I am eliminating hidden bitterness, dismantling normalized disappointment, and removing that insecurity you've grown accustomed to managing. Instead, I am bestowing upon you a profound, steadfast serenity that emerges from being fully known and fully loved. Let me complete this process. Let me finalize the healing. Allow me to unbind every link that equates acceptance with your core identity. You will not revert to the destructive loop of seeking approval to validate yourself. You already possess a voice. You already have my approval. I refuse to let a past heartbreak define your future. You are not who the pain painted you to be. You are the person I have always known you to be. May this moment mark the turning point, the day you relinquish the heavy burden of remaining unseen. I saw it all, and I'm going to use and redeem every experience. One day, you will look back and see how what they did not notice was precisely what I used to set you apart. What they missed, I converted into your distinct mark. What they forgot, I transformed into favor. Their oversight did not end you, it positioned you. And now, I am about to reveal the true you, the one you have always been, to those who have eyes to see. With the weight of rejection falling away, I want to direct your attention to what is unfolding. Don't lose sight of the healing that is happening within you, but also recognize that while you have been mending, I have been orchestrating events on your behalf. You questioned why they did not see you, but all the while I was preparing you to step forward into the destiny I always perceived for you. This is not merely a season of healing, but one of unveiling. And what is about to appear is not confined only to what I have placed into your hands, but also what I have sowed throughout your life from the very start. You are stepping into a time frame when the declarations I made in quiet corners, through intimate whispers, dreams, and times of prayer, are beginning to materialize publicly. This is not due to you forcing them through your own strength or politicking. It is because you waited faithfully. It is not because you demanded them. Rather, you remained steadfast. When it would have been simpler to give up, you continued in obedience during times when no one seemed to watch or applaud. And I, for my part, have been paying close attention. Now, heaven is responding to that faithfulness. There are promises I revealed to you long ago in hushed moments, in glimpses of visions, in your private times of seeking my face, pledges you eventually stopped talking about because you became weary of disappointment. But I did not forget. I did not alter my plan. I did not retract what I proclaimed simply because time passed. My promises do not shatter easily. They do not break under pressure. They remain rooted even in silence, growing deeper and stronger. And now they will start sprouting upward and outward. Look for the signs, because you will encounter them. They will be unmistakable confirmations, marked distinctly by my hand, rather than random words of encouragement. You may notice conversations that align too perfectly to be accidental, repeated references in scripture that grab your attention in uncanny ways, opportunities that appear without any maneuvering from you, and people who abruptly speak into your calling with a language that resonates deeply. You will start to hear me through these encounters, validating the next step as more than guesswork. It is my guidance. I will place individuals in your path who remind you of my word, people who weren't present when I first spoke it to you. I will fill their mouths with the words your soul has nearly forgotten. That is not them randomly guessing. It is me reminding you. When these moments occur, do not brush them off. Don't say, "Oh, that's just good advice." No, it is alignment, a clear sign that heaven is communicating. You can also expect acceleration. You will see outcomes you once thought would take months or years happen in a fraction of the time. Doors that appeared bolted shut will swing wide open. Conversations you considered dead will be renewed. Projects long on hold will gain a surge of momentum. The reasons may not add up naturally, but your spirit will recognize my hand. That is the manner in which I move, suddenly, precisely according to my design. And you will not have to strain to make it happen. You merely have to identify what I am doing. Prepare also for restoration, not only of missed opportunities, but also of the honor once denied you. I am restoring and redeeming environments where you were treated carelessly in the past. You will not go back from resentment or to prove your worth, but out of a mission I will give you. I will guide you back to such places, enabling you to speak with a new boldness. They will notice it, not because you have changed your voice to be louder or more forceful, but because your presence carries my stamp of approval. Expect the release of provision as well. Everything you need to progress, finances, emotional energy, clarity, the right people, the right timing, will be released in alignment with my schedule. You will not need to beg or wrestle for it. It will manifest as a direct outcome of your obedience, not your performance or hustle. Certainly, you can anticipate certain changes to be swift, and some relationships may fade. Do not be alarmed when some individuals drift away in this season. I am making room for new alignments. Do not cling tightly to relationships or ways of operating that will no longer serve you in the next phase of my plan. Not every familiar pattern is meant to carry over. Some were simply there for a previous season. Release them with gratitude and grace. I am not depriving you. I am opening up space. The next segment of your journey is about alignment, not just accumulating more. Pay attention to the pace that I set for you. I will guide you every day. I will highlight what pursuits to follow and what pursuits to pause. I will clarify when it is time to move and when it is time to rest. This is not about charging ahead. It is about walking in harmony with me. Trust that if you remain close, you will not overlook any aspect of what I am doing. My signals are not subtle for those whose spiritual vision is attuned. Keep your heart open, your spirit sensitive. I am not concealing my works from you. I am gradually revealing them as you become ready to carry them. Let me also reaffirm, you are not behind schedule. The enemy has tried persuading you that your chance is gone, that someone else has overtaken you, that your opportunity is lost. But my response to these lies is unequivocal. You stand exactly where I want you to be. I have redeemed time. I have recalibrated your path. No experience has been wasted, and no promise from my lips will ever return void. What I am about to do will confirm not only your gift, but my presence around your life. People will notice what I always saw. They will ask, where on earth did this come from? You will recognize that none of this is spontaneous or random. It sprang from your unwavering years, your late-night prayers, your refusal to relinquish hope. It originated from me. Now at last, I am revealing what they could not recognize back then. They will see it plainly now. I want to instruct you on how to step into this next season with deliberate faith, not with fear or the compulsion to appear perfect. You have heard me. You have absorbed my words. Now I invite you to translate these truths into a lived posture, into daily actions and habits. Remember that the faith which moves mountains is not simply intellectual or emotional conviction. It is obedience in motion that continues even when the mountain remains standing. Let us begin with your daily rhythm. Structure your life around me, rather than around deadlines, pressures, or the weight of other people's expectations. That is how you will keep your spirit attuned when more people start to notice your influence. That is how you will stay grounded even as new doors of opportunity open wide. I do not desire for you to handle the coming season powered by adrenaline. I want you to draw strength from abiding in me. Start your mornings by focusing on me before the world's noise intrudes. I am not requiring hours upon hours of prayer, but rather the priority of your heart. Before you look at your phone or your list of tasks, or even before you mentally review your day, just pause and come to me, even if it is briefly, with stillness or simplicity. That daily meeting is precisely where I will meet you in return. Speak to me with candor, as though I am already right there beside you, because I am. There is no need for grandiose words or elaborate phrasing. You do not have to orchestrate an emotional experience. Just come to me as you are. God, I want to hear you before anything else is enough to shift the entire trajectory of your day. Invite me into your morning, into your initial thoughts, so I can set the tone of your heart. That seemingly small act of surrender becomes the cornerstone of every choice that follows. Throughout the day, do not forget that my presence is walking with you. Between tasks and conversations, on your commute as you walk through hallways, whisper my name. Ask me, what are you seeing here? How should I interpret this situation? I will be right there to answer, guiding you if you make yourself available. The next part of your rhythm involves responsiveness. Faith that remains confined to your journals or private meditations does not change your tangible life. The moment you hear my voice, move. Do not delay, waiting for yet another confirmation if clarity has already been given. Do not stall because you are uneasy about the outcome. As soon as you sense the path forward in your spirit, that is your moment of obedience, which becomes the bridge to your next season. Send the email, start the project, submit that application, walk into the environment I have pointed you toward. Trust me. I am not asking you to complete the entire journey instantly, but to take the initial step, and I will accompany you every step of the way. When fear attempts to overshadow you, and it will, do not try to conquer it by your own strength alone. Let my word and my promises be your best weapons. Declare aloud what I told you in the privacy of prayer. Remind yourself, God is with me in this. I have His approval. He recognizes me. I do not need other people's endorsement to proceed. Fear will yield when your speaking aligns with what I have spoken. Let your own mouth frame your mindset. Let truth disrupt anxiety. Maintain vigilance over your surroundings. This is crucial. You cannot move into a season of clarity if you saturate yourself with persistent confusion. You do not require endless reviews or other people's input to justify every stride. Protect your peace. Simplify your sources of influence. Choose carefully what you say yes to, how often you say yes, and to whom. You are not being selfish by setting boundaries. You are safeguarding your alignment with me. Each decision to commit your time either amplifies or diminishes your focus. Choose wisely. Immerse yourself daily in my word, not as a chore, but as an act of dependence. You are not merely reading for intellectual insight, but for transformation. Let the scriptures reshape your thought patterns, confront your preconceived ideas, and soften your impulses. Allow my word to speak louder than the shifting tides of your emotions. If you are unsure where to begin, open the Gospels. Observe how Jesus walked, how he spoke calmly, how he remained secure in his calling even while others misunderstood him. That is your blueprint. Dwell there, letting these truths sink in until they become second nature. Make a habit of declaring my truth, particularly when it feels odd or forced, especially if you are weary. You are not impressing me. You are reminding yourself. Continue proclaiming scriptural truth until your spirit revives and stands tall. You are not merely scraping by. You are constructing a spiritual infrastructure to carry out all I have promised. Keep speaking and proclaiming until your voice and my voice operate in concert. Value rest when I instruct you to rest. I did not create you for perpetual busyness. Rest is not a sign of frailty. It is the wisdom to recognize your limits. It is how I remind you that I orchestrate the outcomes, not you. It fosters endurance. Pause with deliberation. Breathe deeply. Protect your Sabbath time. Step away from loudness and chaos at times. Turn down requests that drain you, even if those requests are good on the surface, because not every good venture is part of your current assignment. Allow my spirit to lead you in your pace, showing you how to live full rather than frantic. Above everything, stay near to me. Stay aware, remain receptive. I will continue to speak. I will continue to guide. I will grant you strategies that may never appear in books. Strategies that arise from the secret place I share with you, the place nobody else has the privilege to witness. You do not have to solve it all yourself. Simply follow me. As you learn to walk in active faith, I pause to reaffirm who you are at the core. Even as you begin taking fresh steps of obedience, building upon these revelations, I know parts of your heart still need tender reassurance. Not because you are weak, but because your life's calling has been carried through adversity. The weight of misunderstanding continues to cast a small shadow in certain areas of your heart. Yes, you have remained loyal to me, but I know the subtle insecurities that occasionally whisper to you when you are alone. Those lingering doubts that say, "Am I truly strong enough for this?" Let me answer unequivocally. Yes, you are more than enough, not by the metric of what you can accomplish in your own strength, but by virtue of who I, your maker, formed you to be. I was fully aware of my work while designing your personality, your particular thought patterns, your gifts. I was not surprised by how some people might misread or fail to value you. I knew there would be misunderstandings and seasons of isolation or disappointment. Still, I chose you. Still, I called you. Still, I anointed you. I did not select you for a hypothetical, perfected version of yourself that emerges when all is ideal. I embraced you as you are. Yes, including all your questions, your ongoing maturation, and your not yet finished nature. The world may have tried to rename you, and pain may have attempted to twist your self-image. But allow me to declare definitively, you are not the person rejection tried to define. You are not condemned by the quietness or absence others projected onto you. You are not the sum of locked doors or of people who departed from your life. You are not barely making it. You are not a compromised second choice. You are mine. When I claim you as mine, I declare a profound kind of ownership over your destiny. I formed your spirit intentionally. I wove you together with careful planning. You do not merely fill a role, you carry my spiritual DNA. My presence, my spirit, is alive within you, leaving my fingerprints on every facet of your design. Nothing about you is random. No part of your biography is wasted. You bear the mark of heaven, and that outranks the opinion of every earthly critic who might have overlooked you. Receive these words as well. You are safe to be seen. You no longer need to make yourself smaller or hide from risk. You do not need to adjust your voice just to soothe someone else's comfort zone. I am restoring your courage, but it is not the sort of boldness that emerges from anger or defiance. It is a strength that grows from real healing, that allows you to speak from a place of steadfastness, not retaliation or fear, that stands unwavering without feeling the need to broadcast or apologize. It is the kind of boldness that recognizes you have already been authorized to exist exactly as I made you. You have spent a great deal of time evaluating how others see you, trying to blend graciousness with truth-telling, to balance your loyalty to me without coming across as too intense. That is a real journey you have been on, and I honor the sincerity behind it. Yet, I am now summoning you to live fully, not in partial measure. This does not mean becoming reckless. It means being free, trusting that what I fashioned within you is holy, not because it pleases every human being, but because it mirrors my own essence. Now, allow me to speak directly to the mirror of your heart. You are resilient. You are unwavering. You contain a fusion of truth and tenderness. You embody wisdom that no school could teach, for it arose from experiences, from nights of wrestling in the valley. You have a clarity that can slice through confusion, and a quiet healing power that touches others even before your words are spoken. You have walked the path of rejection, yet you did not turn cynical. You grew deeper instead. That is not a sign of your defeat. It is a testament to my forming hand upon you. You are precisely the type of individual I trust with true authority, because you do not hunger for fame. I trust you to walk through the doors I open, because you will not idolize them. I have elevated you slowly, because I prefer a strength that can endure. I am not looking for a fleeting moment for you, but a lifetime of ongoing impact. I long for you to construct from a place of authenticity and rest, not from anxiety, pride, or the pursuit of approval. Hence, my directive is this: embark on being the complete version of yourself that I designed. Do not recoil or pause, waiting for others to discern what I already see. You don't require further signs. You already are the sign. You embody proof that I choose those no one anticipates, that I exalt the faithful who persist even when no audience cheers. You are developing the kind of quiet strength that is unshakable. You are coming into a new grace that does not demand its place, but quietly, powerfully assumes it. And people cannot help but notice the shift. They will sense this transformation. They might struggle to articulate it, but they will feel it. That is what transpires when someone lives free from ego but full of my spirit, when they do not chase visibility but reveal truth wherever they go. And that truth, lived boldly, naturally calls everything it needs into alignment. I am returning you to the version of yourself that breathes unencumbered, that does not hesitate to carry substantial weight, that refuses to minimize your presence for acceptance, that believes heaven sees even when humans do not. Let this attitude resonate within you now. I am not defined by who failed to see me. I am who God has consistently known me to be. I will walk into every new space with that truth woven into my being. Having released the compulsion to be seen by others, I want to guide you in sustaining this clarity. You have crossed a spiritual threshold and are experiencing a wave of healing. But stepping into a new chapter demands intentional structures to keep you anchored, balanced, and perceptive. Yes, a wave of favor is poised to surround you, but it requires a formational structure within you that can support it. Structure is not about becoming legalistic or rigid. It is a strategic design for continuous spiritual fire that does not burn out or consume you. It is how you manage authority without vanity, how you remain connected to me despite any newfound recognition. Begin again with prayer, authentic, consistent prayer that grounds you daily. This is not about performance or rattling off your list of needs. It is about truly experiencing my presence, communion, and an awakened consciousness of who I am in your life. I want to be your first conversation every single morning before the clamor of the world imposes on you. I long to anchor your identity in truth, speak peace over your soul, and focus your mind on my perspective. This does not require extraordinary eloquence or a silent monastery. It only calls for a heart that is ready to say, God, here I am again. I do not have perfect words, but I need you. When you set aside that space, even for a short while, I will fill it with clarity beyond any measure your own striving could achieve in hours. Furthermore, I do not want you to set me aside as your day progresses. I want you to carry my presence deliberately into each situation. Whisper my name in those quiet moments between tasks. Consult me about your internal reactions. Ask me for my perspective before you respond. This is the essence of walking by the Spirit, turning to me continuously, not relegating me to scheduled prayer times alone. Let's also discuss your internal stance. Not the public facade you wear, but the posture you hold in the sanctuary of your mind. You are no longer proving yourself, so do not allow outdated fears to shape your mood or let insecurities chronicle your daily narrative. Monitor your inner dialogue for the voice of shame or comparison. Pause. Ask, does this sound like God or self-imposed pressure? My guidance brings conviction without condemnation, correction without shaming, and peace in lieu of panic. Make gratitude your starting point each day. It changes the energy of your internal life. Things will not always feel positive, but you can still say, God, thank you for the breath in my lungs, the people still accompanying me, the resilience to remain consistent. Gratitude is not an escape from reality. It is a realignment with me, directing your eyes back to my presence rather than to fear. Pay attention to the language you use, not solely in conversations with others, but in how you speak about yourself. Proclaim my truth across your own life. You do not need a formal setting to speak with the authority I have imparted to you. You are appointed, safeguarded, resourced by my hand. Begin each morning by reaffirming words that sound like my kingdom. I am guided by God's peace today. I hold His wisdom. I am not chasing affirmation. I follow the voice that already chose me. Let these proclamations form your internal soundtrack, especially when doubts arise. Next, let us revisit my word, not because it is a box you must check off, but because it is your very sustenance. You need more than a motivational quote. You need living truth. Open Scripture with an expectation that I will speak. You do not have to read entire books in one sitting. Follow your spiritual appetite. Read Psalms if your heart is seeking words for prayer and lament. Read the Gospels if you need to observe how Jesus interacted with tension. Read Proverbs when you need guidance for choices pressing upon you. Let my word become a compass that continually recalibrates your perspective. Make notes of any verse or phrase that captivates your heart. Those moments are not coincidences, but revelations I am offering. Consider keeping a journal of what you read and what you believe you hear from me. Over time, you will witness patterns and confirmations. That is how I typically lead you, through a consistent unveiling, rather than handing over a fully detailed roadmap all at once. Be mindful of your environment. The new alignment I am bringing you into demands that you safeguard your inner harmony. You cannot allow endless voices and ceaseless opinions to invade your spirit, nor can you feed on negativity and expect to hear me with clarity. Be selective in your intake, what you watch, scroll through, or listen to. None of these influences are truly neutral. They are shaping you in some way. You are not self-centered for turning certain things or people down. You are being wise. Create pockets of stillness in your week. Retreat from the busyness. Let me refresh your spirit and remind you that you are not bearing all these responsibilities alone. You are not merely a worker. You are my companion. This season does not require you to accomplish more, but to embrace more of me. And I will be faithful to fill every surrendered moment. Listen closely. I am about to declare something prophetic over your life. This will not be just a reiteration of what you have heard previously. It is a timely breath of my spirit, verifying what your heart has quietly sensed, even if your external reality has not yet aligned. This is where that which I have matured in secrecy begins to shift into plain view, not in scattered fragments, but in a fluid motion. I say to you now, without hesitation, your season has changed. Every dimension of potential you carried through shadowed times, every certainty you wrestled with in private, every faithful act you upheld when nobody was there to applaud it, it is about to come forth. Not because you fought for clout or forced doors open, but because I am summoning you forward for my own purposes. This next phase is not about settling scores or proving anyone wrong. It is about completing everything I promised long before they even knew your name. An unveiling is upon you. The gifts I planted, the wisdom I broadened, the authority I molded, and the anointing I burnished in trials. None of these are dormant any longer. They have become active, fully primed. I am releasing them with precise clarity and a divine plan. You will sense it internally. Your voice will hold a deeper gravity. Your intercessions will move into spaces that seemed untouched in the past, and your presence will garner attention, not from your personal merits alone, but because I have placed my seal upon you. People may not know you intimately, but they will sense the oil of anointing resting on your life. Do not be taken aback when new opportunities happen at a surprising pace. Do not second-guess the legitimacy of wide-open doors that appear with little explanation. This is not random good fortune. It is the unfolding of my promised timing I safeguarded through your season of waiting, a season that demanded a more refined character and a renewed sense of self. You are not approaching this season as the same individual you were years ago. You are sturdier, quieter in ego, stronger in spirit, humbler in your heart, yet sharper in your discernment. You are prepared. I will validate that readiness not only by presenting new paths to walk, but by giving you peace and perfect timing. You will find yourself in places you once thought inaccessible. You will speak with an unexpected depth, surpassing any formal training. You will carry a calm confidence that is not loud or boastful. This is the natural result when heaven appoints you, not when humans merely invite you. Yes, changes will occur. Not all who were in your previous chapter will understand this transformation. Some might be uncertain how to react to the new growth in you. Do not feel pressured to revert to your old self for their comfort. Remember, I am sending you into certain spaces requiring the advanced version of yourself, the version formed by my patient craftsmanship in your life. You need not apologize for evolving. You don't have to clarify why you have strengthened. It is not pride. It is the fruit of alignment with my will. You will realize that what once drained you no longer has a hold. That is not defiance. It is revelation. I am realigning your relationships, redefining your responsibilities, even adjusting the way you speak. Activities that once satisfied you might no longer do so, not because they are inherently wrong, but because you have outgrown them. I am doing this deliberately, for I do not want you stuck in repetitive cycles in a new season. I want you embracing freedom, fluidity, and clarity. Expect acceleration without the weight of anxiety. You will not force anything. You might find yourself in unexpected rooms or offered roles you did not even request. You may sit at tables and wonder, how did this happen so quickly? But your spirit will instantly acknowledge, God arranged this. I am resurrecting the dreams you assumed time or disappointment had killed off. But I declare they are very much alive. I am granting fresh strategies and innovative language. I will provide the necessary resources and align you with the right people. I will clear your schedule to open up the necessary space. The seed you thought was dormant is not merely sprouting again. It is being recreated. This time, not from the impetus of ambition, but from encountering me. You will start to feel it gently stirring at first, then intensifying. You will see it take concrete form. Resist the urge to rush. Follow my pace. When I say move, do so. When I say hold, do so. I am not asking you to build alone. I am accompanying you in every phase. I say it once more. You are not late. Every detour you think you took, every reevaluation you went through, I have woven into my plan. Now I am redeeming the lost time by moving you forward in my might, not by turning back the clock. The fruit of your long-standing faithfulness will appear, seemingly all at once. What to others may look like an overnight harvest will be the result of seeds you planted over the course of many years. I saw each seed. People will marvel, when did this blossom? And you will respond, it was always planted here. God just decided to show it now. I will confirm, yes, that is exactly what I did, because I have always recognized your potential, even when they did not. Now that the unveiling has shifted from internal transformation to outward evidence, let me return you to the bedrock of it all, my spirit, my presence, and the condition of your heart. Although I have invited you into new visibility, opening doors you once believed were closed, you must understand that maintaining forward momentum is not about having the right strategy or superhuman endurance. It is about remaining in communion with me. You will require more than your own cleverness. You need increased awareness, a deepened sensitivity to how my spirit moves, how I protect you, and how I direct you from within. That heightened awareness is not born from endless tasks. It emanates from surrender. Abiding in me is not passive. It is a deliberate posture that grows from spending time with me, not just seeking my gifts. I want to shape your life from the inside, so that every external structure you build has the integrity, purity, and staying power that only my spirit can provide. You have tasted my spirit's comfort in those moments when grief was a crushing weight. You have sensed his gentle whisper when your heart hovered on the edge of hopelessness. However, I am now drawing you into a more constant, lifestyle-based relationship with my spirit. Not a one-time moment, not a fleeting emotional high, but an everyday abiding, where you don't simply carry spiritual truths, but let them saturate your actions. Where you do not just seek peace, but actively become a carrier of it, shifting atmospheres. Where you do not simply heed a call, but embody a life of communion. You don't need to intensify your efforts to be more spiritual. You need to open more doors inside yourself to me. Let me walk into the shadowy corners you have guarded, the thoughts you keep wrestled down, and the reactions you believe are justified. My spirit does not come to condemn or shame, but to heal and transform from the core. correcting the misconceptions and injuries that shaped negative patterns. The lies you internalized in childhood, the lingering pain from certain words, the triggers that arise in repeated cycles. I am not frightened by them. I am here to go through them with you. You were never meant to deal with all the weight of transformation alone. I did not bring you this far only to leave you exhausted or defenseless. I did not place you on the front lines without providing armor. Your greatest power is not your talent, it is your closeness to me. This bond will safeguard you when you face critique or external expectations. It will ground you when success tries to reshape who you are. It will humble you when people shower you with approval. My spirit is your anchor. You will perceive my presence more vividly, not because I have relocated, but because your heart is finally quiet enough to detect me. In stillness, I speak. In the frenzy, I calm. In disputes, I steer you wisely. I will equip you with discernment that surpasses mere logic, giving you a vision beneath the surface so you will know when to speak and when to remain silent, when to progress and when to wait. I will lead you through peace, not pressure. That peace will become your powerful shield in times of chaos. Although you are entering a heightened season of progress, the enemy may still attempt to inject confusion or self-doubt, whispering that you are unqualified, that you are too broken, that the spotlight will be too harsh, that the hushed places are just another setup for heartbreak. Yet you will detect the lie more swiftly this time because my voice will resound louder within you, and you will declare, "No, I recognize my Father's voice. I have stood in the private space with him. I know who I am and to whom I belong. I refuse to diminish myself again." True transformation will erupt in unexpected corners of your life. You will find yourself pausing before giving a knee-jerk response, not out of nervousness, but because you have cultivated the skill of listening to my spirit's nudges. You will exude authority, not to dictate, but to serve. You will lead from compassion, not out of a craving for approval, but because you recall the sting of being unseen and chosen regardless. This is not a radical personality shift. It is the inevitable result of genuine communion with me. Your vision for the future will broaden, no longer fixated solely on personal successes or high-profile platforms, but on healing, lasting impact, entire communities, future generations. You will sense the need to pray for particular people or to reach out to them even before they express their need. That is not a heavy burden. It is a sign of spiritual awareness. And I will teach you to handle it with grace, giving you a balanced life that does not consume you. The more space you allot to me, the more possibilities I will unveil. And your criteria for success will shift. It will no longer revolve around numbers or applause, but around peace, surrendered obedience, and profound intimacy. That is the life that endures. That is the life that discreetly unsettles the enemy's strongholds. That is the life you were designed to live. Return to me repeatedly, not merely for solutions, but for my presence. Let my spirit be the one who counsels, reassures, filters your experiences, and grants you rest. Let him be the unstoppable reminder of who you truly are, especially when your emotions waver. This is not about performance, it is about being with me. This is the life you were always intended to embrace, not tirelessly seeking recognition, but saturating every space you enter with my presence. In that radiant presence, the world will finally perceive what I have known all along, not because you have raised your voice to be heard, but because you have chosen to journey intimately with me. So rest now, letting the words I have pronounced over you sink in fully. Allow them to embed themselves not just in your mind, but in the deepest part of your being. Let them pierce beyond fleeting emotions to heal the part of you that questioned your identity, the part that wonders if you are really enough or truly chosen. I am not speaking these truths to simply uplift your spirits. I am speaking them to resurrect and restore you. You do not need yet another fleeting moment of hype. You must know that your life continues to unfold precisely according to my plan, even in the seemingly unproductive stretches, in the quiet intervals, in the places you thought you missed your chance, in the places you felt deserted. None of these canceled your destiny. They prepared you for it. I did not lose track of who you are when others ignored you. I did not discontinue my building process in seasons of stillness. I did not reverse my call on your life when others left. My presence has accompanied you in every moment, in every breath, with every inner prayer. Now you will enter a time when I confirm publicly what I privately affirmed from the beginning. You are mine. You have been called. You reflect my heart. No measure of disregard, postponement, or misjudgment can bring my divine proclamations to a standstill. You do not have to explain the magnitude of what I am accomplishing in you. You do not have to defend the fruit you are bearing. Just continue walking closely with me. Maintain a tender heart, keep your hands open, and keep your spirit listening for my voice. I will supply everything you need: persons, resources, protection. You do not have to wrestle for visibility. You already have it in my eyes. You do not have to hesitate, waiting until others understand. I have always understood. So proceed. Not with apology or fright, but with the confident pace of one who has been validated by heaven. Speak only when I provide the words. Build whatever I have placed in your spirit to build. Advance with clarity and not with doubt. You are not an imposter. You are not performing. You are walking in the revelation I scripted for you long ago. I will show those who questioned you what they failed to see. My beloved, you have heard my heart poured out over your hidden pain and seen the promise of your unveiling. Carry this truth into your everyday life, and remember, every tear you shed in secret has been shaping you for glory. When doubt creeps back in or you need fresh courage, come right back here, and I will meet you again with living words to reignite your faith. Subscribe now and hit the bell so you never miss a single revelation I'm releasing on this channel. Comment below with the moment that spoke to your soul, and let us pray for one another. Share this video with someone who needs to know they're never unseen. Return often. This isn't a one-time message, but an ongoing conversation between you and me. I'll be here, ready to speak life into your next step. Amen.